leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian Talk.
DarkDox, digest. DarkDox, digest. DarkDox, digest. DarkDox, digest.
Welcome to the April 28th, 2025, Monday edition of the DarkDox Digest with your host, Christian Coffins.
DarkDox, digest. DarkDox, digest.
Welcome back to the DarkDox Digest. Today is Monday, April 28th, and I am your host, still, Christian. I was going to say Christian A. Coffins, but there's, well, maybe there is. But anyway, let's open the display capture. I have so much to cover today. I'm not even going to futz about. But yeah, we're Mondays and Wednesdays now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/Sacred Owls, and I'm working on DarkDox.com. I'm gonna have some things. I have some things up my sleeve. If you're on Rumble, we are DarkDox. If you're on BitChute, we are DarkDox. If you're on X, we are Sacred Owls Unite. And ICE operations tidal wave results in 780 arrests across Florida.
Continues to make headlines across the country here in Florida, and including in Florida.
Yeah, nearly 800 people have been detained in a recent takedown. Caleb Califano has more.
The acting director of ICE tells ABC News that this operation was significant because it's a first-of-its-kind type of partnership. ICE says this four-day operation led to the arrest of 780 people across Florida. It's called Operation Tidal Wave. It uses ICE's 287G program, allowing local law enforcement to help with federal immigration enforcement. ICE officials say 275 of those arrested had final removal orders, and many had criminal records, including gang affiliations and prior convictions. This morning, President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, praised ICE agents at the White House.
God bless the men and women of ICE who strap a gun to the hip every day, put on a Kevlar vest to not only secure our border and protect our national security, but the ICE agents in the interior, they're removing public safety threats and national security threats every day.
Governor Ron DeSantis responding to the operation on social media, posting in part, quote, Operation Tidal Wave is an example of Florida and DHS partnering to deliver big results on immigration enforcement and deportations. Meanwhile, the Florida Department of Safety and Motor Vehicles posting this on X, quote, we're happy to be a part of this collaborative effort. Let Operation Tidal Wave be an example for the other states in our great nation. ICE officials say operations like these are expected to expand across the country. Caleb Califano, WPBF 25 News.
The immigration debate, of course, continues to make headlines across.
All of that was with the microphone off, you know? One day I'll be a grown-up and do the show right. So yeah, things are happening. Anyone complaining about things are not happening, we can kind of take a moment and appreciate the things that are happening, like the Trump administration ambushes the mainstream media with White House yard signs showing 100 criminal illegals arrested by ICE. That is, of course, the artwork for today's episode, Arrests. Arrests are all up and down the lawn. And we can see here.
You can see behind us in the wider shot, the north lawn is dotted with 100 yard signs that show illegal immigrant mugshots next to the heinous crime that they have been accused of. And if there are judges in this country who are trying to help these illegal immigrants, the 100 listed on the lawn, avoid prosecution, then the White House has a big problem with them too.
Yeah, so, with that being said, I stole this idea like I've stolen other ideas from the American Journal. Give it up, everyone, for Miss Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's going to be crying on her show on a regular basis because these are hopefully not going to slow down. And in addition, we have also added a new segment that has been requested by some of you. Now we have a wood chipper. That's right. So this young man, his fate is going to be the fate of all these other ones that become dog food for all of our dogs after we are done with all of this. Where is that wood chipper? Get out of here. All right, so
you can see behind us in the wider
stuff.
shot.
I like it. Let's see what else is going on at whitehouse.gov. Oh, they have a search now. That's nice. Strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals, protect innocent citizens, protecting American communities from criminal aliens, enforce common sense rules of the road for American truck drivers. This has been a problem. Truck, got it. Got it. You got the fact sheets. Border security achieved fewer than 100 days. Promises kept. Promises made. In the first 100 days, the Trump administration has taken down killers, rapists off the streets. This is all from today. Report of the president on protecting children from surgical and chemical mutilation. Executive summary. World Intellectual Property Day. Not DarkDox related. Or is it? I mean, all of our stuff is fair use in the Creative Commons. So anything that's on here is just being used for educational purposes. So please, you can subclip, you can use all of this. I don't copyright any of this stuff because this is an information war. And yeah, that does it for today. It's funny, there was nothing posted since the 25th. Strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. By the power vested in the President of the constitutional laws of the United States of America, safe communities rely on the backbone of heroism of a tough and well-equipped police force. The Trump administration is steadfast committed to empowering state and local law enforcement. Notice it's not federal. With firm police dangerous criminals behavior and protect innocent citizens. When local leaders demonize law enforcement and impose legal and political handcuffs that may aggressively enforce the law impossible. Crime thrives and innocent citizens and small business owners suffer. The Trump administration will therefore establish best practices at the state and local level for cities to unleash high-impact local police forces, protect and defund law enforcement officers wrongfully accused and abused by state and local officials, and surge resources to officers in need. The Trump administration will work to ensure that law enforcement officers across America focus on ending crime, not pursuing harmful, illegal race and sex-based equity policies. Equity in quotes. The result will be a law-abiding society in which tenacious law enforcement officers protect the innocent, violations of law are not tolerated, and American communities are safer, enjoyed by all citizens. And then it goes into how. And I know what some of you are thinking, like, police state, frankly, everything's been so off the rails, out of control for so long. We're going to need to declare a little bit of martial law at this point. I mean, we're already arresting judges because they are harboring violent criminals that are illegal in this country. So, this is what needs to be done, and then we can dial things back. And I know it's harder to dial back than it is to go full authoritarian. But that's why there needs to be transparency and who we're going after and why in real time. And I mean, as you can see with these press releases and the results, they're doing their hardest, their best to try to achieve that. Protecting American communities from criminal aliens, federal supremacy with respect to immigration, national security, and foreign policy is axiomatic. The Constitution provides the federal government with plenary authority regarding immigration to protect the sovereignty of our nation and to conduct relations with other nations who must be able to deal with one national government on such matters. This power is sometimes contained in specific constitutional provisions. Article 2 of the Constitution vests the power to protect national security and conduct foreign policy in the President of the United States. And Article 4, Section 4, requires the federal government to protect each of the states against invasion. This federal power over immigration is also an inherent element of national sovereignty. The prior administration allowed unchecked millions of aliens to illegally enter the United States. The resulting public safety and national security risks are exacerbated by the presence of and control of territory by international cartels and other transnational criminal organizations along the southern border, as well as terrorists and other malign actors who intend to harm the United States and the American people. This invasion at the southern border requires federal government to take measures to fulfill its obligation to the states. Yet, some state and local officials nevertheless continue to use their authority to violate, obstruct, and defy enforcement on federal immigration laws. This is a lawless insurrection against the supremacy of the federal law, which is true. The federal circumcedes states, which circumcedes the local. Federal law and federal government obligations to defend the territorial sovereignty of the United States beyond the intolerable national security risks. Such nullification efforts have often violated criminal law, including those prohibiting obstruction of justice, 18 U.S.C. 1501, unlawful harboring or hiring of illegal aliens, 18 U.S.C. 1324, conspiracy against the United States, 18 U.S.C. 371, and conspiracy to impede federal law enforcement, 18 U.S.C. 372. Assisting aliens in violating federal immigration law could also violate the Racketeer and Influence Corruption Organization Act, 18 U.S.C. 1961. You can learn all about that on our episode Racketeer. Some measures to assist illegal aliens also necessarily violate federal laws prohibiting discrimination against Americans in favor of illegal aliens and protecting American civil rights. The designation of sanctuary designations within 30 days of the date of this order, which is today, the 28th, the Attorney General, in coordination with the Secretary of Homeland Security, shall publish a list of states and local jurisdictions that obstruct the enforcement of federal immigration laws, quote-unquote sanctuary jurisdictions. After this initial publication, the Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall update this list as necessary. Immediately following each publication under subsection A of this section, the Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall notify each sanctuary jurisdiction regarding its defiance of federal immigration law enforcement and any potential violations of federal criminal law. Consequences. You can watch our episode Consequences from 3 weeks ago. In sanctuary jurisdiction status, with respect to sanctuary jurisdiction that are designated under Section 2A of this order, the head of each executive department or agency, in cooperation with the director of the Office of Management and Budget, as permitted by law, shall identify appropriate federal funds to sanctuary jurisdictions, including grants and contracts for suspension or termination as appropriate. And it goes on. So, good. We need to hold these people accountable. Enforcing common sense rules of the road for American truck drivers. America's truck drivers are essential to the... So, proficient in English, which Trump designates as our official national language, in Executive Order 14224 of March 1st, 2025, designating English as the official language of the United States, should be a non-negotiable safety requirement for professional drivers. Full stop. They should be able to read and understand traffic signs, communicate with traffic safety, border patrol, agricultural checkpoints, and cargo weight limit station officers. Drivers need to provide feedback on their employers and customers and receive related directions in English. This is common sense. That is why federal law requires that to operate a commercial vehicle, a driver must read and speak the English language sufficiently to converse with the general public, to understand highway traffic signs and signals in the English language, to respond to official inquiries, and to make entries on reports and records. Unquote. Yet this requirement has not been enforced in years, and American roadways have become less safe. It's common sense stuff. This is fantastic. If he did nothing else, you know how I harp about traffic and driving. Hey, what's up, Quatin Primate? This alone is going to save countless lives. So thank you, Trump administration. Promises made, promises kept. Border security achieved in fewer than 100 days since President Trump took office. He and his administration have ushered in the most secure border in modern American history, and he didn't need legislation to do it. And for those of you saying, oh, but the deportation numbers were higher under Obama and Biden, they were including people caught at the border. We're not doing that anymore because that's cheating. But the Democrats know all about that. Am I right? So far, illegal border encounters are down 95%. Illegal immigrants gotaways, the top threat to public safeties, are down by 99%. Fox News correspondent Bill Melugin. If Fox were to send me down there right now, I would have trouble finding a single migrant on camera. And it goes on. Promise made, we will expel every single illegal alien gang member and migrant criminal operating on American soil and remove the savage gang Tren de Agua from the United States. That was from January 19th. Promise kept. Trump designated Tren de Agua, MS-13, and other vicious gang cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Department of Justice, 27 members associated of Tren de Agua charged with racketeering, narcotics, sex trafficking, robbery, and firearm offenses. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, under President Trump, we have arrested over 150,000 aliens, including more than 600 members of the vicious Tren de Agua gang, unquote. The Trump administration directed a successful apprehension of key MS-13 gang leader and illegal immigrant living in Virginia, operating as one of the top 3 MS-13 leaders in the United States. The Trump administration directed the successful arrest of 3 illegal immigrant MS-13 gang members in Florida, wanted on first-degree murder charges, and another high-ranking MS-13 member in New York linked to 11 murders. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested 370 plus illegal immigrants as part of a major operation in Massachusetts, many who have serious criminal convictions and charges, including murder, child rape, fentanyl trafficking, and armed robbery. Promise made. On day 1, we will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of this country. Trump mass deportation raids included results of 655% spike in arrests of terrorists roaming the U.S., including one of India's most wanted. President Trump took office. There have been 139,000 deportations under President Trump's 50 days. ICE arrested 32,809 illegal immigrants, nearly 70% of whom were accused of convicted of crimes. Virtually the same number of arrests over the entire Biden final year in office. NBC News, immigration enforcement operations ramp up in cities across the U.S. It goes on. I mean, what are we at, 22? I mean, you can see all the stuff I have to get to. But let's see, highlights. Now, you can read it yourself, whitehouse.gov, link in description. In the first 100 days, the Trump administration has taken killers, rapists off our streets. Arrest of a Jamaican national convicted of first-degree murder. National convicted of rape. Murder, aggravated battery, sexual assault of a child. Predatory assault of a child. Mexican sexual assault of a child. Arrest of Mexican national convicted of aggravated assault of abuse of a minor. Arrest of Salvadoran national convicted of sex with a minor. Arrest of Mexican national convicted of continuous sexual abuse of a child. Arrest of a Dominican national convicted of murder. Arrest of a Salvadoran national convicted of sexual offense with a child. Arrest of a Mexican national convicted of conspiracy to distribute cocaine. Arrest of an Indian national convicted of lewd and lascivious acts against a child under 14. Arrest of a Mexican national convicted of sexual assault of a child. Arrest of a Colombian national convicted of indecent assault on a person less than 13 years old. Arrest of a Mexican national convicted of rape of spouse, sodomy of a child, forced kidnapping. ICE Los Angeles arrested Pedro Contreras Soto, 54-year-old citizen in Mexico. Contreras' criminal history includes convictions of rape of a spouse by threat, sodomy of a person under the age of 14 by force, kidnapping in San Jose, California. Arrest of a Mexican national convicted of predatory sexual assault of a child. Arrest of a Jamaican national convicted of rape of a child. Arrest of a Dominican national convicted of possession of fentanyl and carrying a concealed weapon. Arrest of an Ecuadorian national convicted of rape, anal sexual assault with a person incapable of consent. What age? Arrest of a Mexican national convicted of lewd, lascivious acts with a person under 14. I could be here all day. It keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. There's 100 of these. And that is worthy of our wood chipper. Let's take a moment to send it all through the wood chipper. You don't need to deport these people. Report to the president on protecting children from surgical and chemical mutilation. Executive summary. Under President Biden, the federal government promoted a grotesque social and scientific experiment on American children. During the first 3 years of his administration alone, more than 7,000 children were administered puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. Over 4,000 were subjected to sex trait modification surgical interventions such as mastectomies. It's when they cut off your titties, if I'm not mistaken. These interventions were marketed to children based on the basis of ideologically driven and financially motivated junk science. On January 28, 2025, President Trump signed Executive Order 14187, Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation. EO 14187 prohibits federal departments from funding, sponsoring, assisting, or facilitating the chemical and surgical mutilation of minors and direct them to stop these immoral, unjust, and disproven practices more broadly to the greatest extent possible. The following sections summarize initial steps taken to implement this order. Restoring scientific integrity. Section 3I directs agencies to rescind all policies that rely on the Standard of Care version 8 developed by the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, or WPATH, more like Warpath. These standards were not drafted based on scientific evidence, but on political consideration during these drafting processes. Then Assistant Secretary of Health Admiral Levine, we all remember, let's look up in case you're not familiar so we can put a face to the story. This fucking clown, remember this one? Let me put myself off the screen here. I'm Dr. Roxo. My name is Rachel Levine. Yeah, that's the right face right there. Right before you get the court martial and get the wood chipper. Oh, and here's Mr. Levine next to that what was the Department of Health and Human Services. No, it was the Department of Transportation dude in a dress that was like caught at the airport stealing bags. What was that guy's name? Oh man, forgot about that guy. Anyway, all of the rabbit holes and the back. So Admiral Levine lobbied WPATH to drop. Hey, Data Battle Z, get in here. Give it up, everyone, for Data Battle Z doing our intros and our YouTube shorts. I want to do a little Rachel Levine, like make some magic with that. Thank you. And definitely check out Postmodern Politics with Jacob Engels and Ben Frisbee. Got a little plug in there. See what's going on at Doge. What time is it? 29? I'm good. Their nearly finished fraud detection operation has, in 1 month, suspended payments to 33 is the magic number. Providers suspected of fraud, including, quote, billing medical equipment for a patient that died 20 years ago. Also today, great job by the Justice Department for prosecuting voter fraud where a non-citizen voted in a federal election. Note that this individual had also previously been arrested for first-degree assault and was receiving federal benefits. All three of those things can't be happening. When you're a felon, you are not eligible for federal benefits and you can't vote. And he's a non-citizen. Wood chipper. I'm not going to do it. Only American citizens can vote in American elections. Thanks to our partners at Doge, DOJ charged in an Iraqi man for illegal voting in the 2020 election. If you're a foreign national and vote in our elections, you will be prosecuted! You'll be in trouble. They're going to get you. All right. We have fun here at DarkDox. Too much fun. If you like what we do, you can support us by going to thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. And when you use that URL, we get 10%, and we greatly appreciate it. And I just want to show you something, because we like to be transparent here at DarkDox. I'm going to open up my email. And that's not my email. Proton. Oh my god. Proton.com. We do it live. Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Proton.me. Not .com. And I'm going to sign in. And you don't get to know what my password is. You don't get... Oh, I'm already logged in. Okay. But I just wanted to show you, like, this is no bullshit, okay? I'm opening my email. And I am going to my order from thealexjonesstore.com /
DarkDox.
and look at this. I spent, you don't get to see my address, but spent $101.87. And if it orders over, I'm going to turn myself off here. Orders over $100 get free shipping. So that's why I got exactly $101.87. All of the InfoWars gear for the next 4 days is 50% off. So that means I got this InfoWars World Broadcast limited edition t-shirt in large for $14.88. It came with a free InfoWars snake flag valued at $19.95 and a limited edition InfoWars gym towel valued at $8.99. I also got the limited edition silver 9.99 silver Alex Jones signature fundraiser coin for only $58.50. Now, guys, this is about $40 worth of minted silver. So, I'm just really giving them about $15, as their profit, maybe $18.50. It's fantastic. Pick up one of these coins. I mean, just the silver alone is worth over $40. Limited edition retro InfoWars decal, only $3.50. The answer to 1984 is 1776 coin. Now, these are just steel. They're challenge coins, like the ones you give away in wars and stuff like that. Only $8.99. Give one to your boss. Give one to your son. It's a collectible. It has the coiled snake on the back. Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God on the backside. For $12.50, I got a limited edition classic Molan Labe InfoWars belt buckle. $12.50 for an InfoWars belt buckle, guys. Limited edition 3D yellow InfoWars decal, $3.50. So, hell yeah. How about that? Check out some of the other stuff that they got over here. The supplements is something to behold. You look at my skin, listen to my energy. I mean, I am focused after an 8-hour day at work on a Monday, after a long weekend. I've been taking the ultramethylene blue. And you can say you're on meth because, but it's nothing like methamphetamine. Ultramethylene blue, it has been used for a long time as a clothing dye, but USP medical grade. This is the most concentrated on the market. Do the research. It repairs broken mitochondria. It sends electricity, literally ionized electricity, through your bloodstream. It's amazing. I'm a fan. I've been doing it for about a week and a half. All of my water is blue. Check out Ultramethylene Blue from InfoWarsStore.com. And this is the only one in the market also that has a little bit of vanilla extract and a little bit of peppermint extract. Just a tiny amount. And it covers what usually Ultramethylene Blue has kind of a bitter taste to it. You don't taste that at all. All you taste is vanilla and peppermint, and it's not too strong. It's just a little bit. I put about 3 to 4 drops in my water about 2 to 3 times a day. Recommended dose is 20 drops per day. Use as directed. Consult your doctor. Right now, they also have the Alex Jones signature coffee is back, and you get a free mug with all subscriptions. So I subscribe to it. And I just got 1 bag a month. You save 20%. So they're only $19.99 a bag. Cancel anytime. Grown here in the U.S. I'm sorry, no, it's processed in the U.S. It's Colombian beans and Brazilian beans. It's a blend. But yeah, it comes with the InfoWars mug, bro. $20 a month. Just get one and cancel. $20, you get an InfoWars mug. The mug alone is worth that. They sell them for $20. So definitely check out thealexjonesstore.com. Oh, I haven't even gotten into, and I need to take a new picture. I'm going to control tab that because they got all kinds. So yeah, the InfoWars collection, all the 50% stuff. InfoWars Signature Legacy Collection, 50% off all of these items. They got t-shirts, hats, You get the shop rag for free. I mean, not shop rag, it's a gym towel. What else do they got? Yeah, they got the hoodies. Good stuff, good stuff. And let's just talk about the supplements. Shilajit gummies are in stock, and they also have the pill form. The turmeric gummies are dynamite. They taste like peach rings. They're so good. CMOS capsules and gummies are back in stock. I like them both. I take them both. I switch it up. I do the gummies 1 month, and I do the capsules just to keep it fresh, you know. And then a 10-day gut cleanse worked like a charm on me. I bet it will on you. MK Ultra, I'm taking that. Magnesium and vitamin K. Atomic Defense, dynamite. You have echinacea, sea moss, cumin powder, biopurine, honey powder. In addition to, that's just half of it. They also have oregano. It's strong oregano. You can taste it. Cinnamon, turmeric, garlic extract, all amazing for you. Anti-inflammatory. But the oregano, that's antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal. If you're feeling a little under the weather, oregano extract is the way to go, and it's in the Atomic Defense. So definitely check that out. And right now, I believe it's 1x entries, right, with every order. Oh, it looks like their graphics derped. But yeah, they're giving away a Cybertruck, and it's a one of one. Not limited, one of a kind. 2024 Foundation Series Alex Jones Wrap 1776 American Flag Cybertruck, dual motor, all-wheel drive system, top speed 112, 0 to 60 in approximately 4.1, towing capacity of 11,000 pounds. Total giveaway value, because they also give you $10,000 cash, is $99,129. So every dollar you spend is a raffle ticket to win the Cybertruck. They've already given away a Jeep and 2 trucks. So they're not fucking around. If you're on Facebook, I'm Christian X Coffins, and you should join the DarkDox network. And NGO investigates Lucy Esther Joan Losser, a radical leftist trans activist serving on the city council of Stevenson, Washington. We covered this dude, chick, whatever the fuck they are, a couple episodes ago. Previously named Matthew Losser allegedly did the act on March 31st, 2025 of indecent exposure. Laura is known for going on rants at city council meetings about transphobia. He previously wrote about becoming obsessed with transitioning after going to a sex club in Portland, Oregon, while cross-dressing. Gross. Trump administration, got it. Moronic Tesla vandal torches vehicle, misspells thief in graffiti on dealership wall. THI, no TH. You see, my brain had to fix it. THE. So the F, yeah, the if indeed. The if. I should almost have named today's episode The If. Got a video? Sweet.
Burned out Cybertruck and the misspelled word thief spray painted on the wall of the dealership. We are waiting to get more information from officials out here at the scene. We have also reached out to the ATF and FBI and Mesa Fire, and we're working to get a comment from this dealership too. Again, Mesa Police telling us that this was a fire being investigated as a possible arson. The scene is still very active at this time. Obtained. It shows a burned out Cybertruck and the misspelled word thief spray painted on the wall of the dealership. We are waiting to get more information from officials out here at the scene. We have also reached out to the ATF and FBI and Mesa Fire, and we're working to get a comment from this dealership too. Again, Mesa Police telling us that this was a fire being investigated as a possible arson. The scene is still very active at this time. Obtained. It shows a burned out Cybertruck and the misspelled.
These people breed and they vote. Man who savagely beat an innocent woman for simply driving a Tesla identified and arrested. Investigative journalist Savannah Hernandez breaks down the escalating domestic terror attacks against Trump supporters and warns that if the Department of Justice does not begin arresting the leaders of organizations financing it, America will descend into total chaos, just as the desperate Democrats desire. Let's watch.
Appears to walk Tesla attack in Flagstaff last week. It shows a green car pulling up next to a Tesla on busy Route 66, then swerving in front to box the vehicle in. The driver then walks over to the 61-year-old woman in the Tesla and reportedly starts hitting her while she's behind the wheel.
I started to say, "You cut me off. What's your problem?" But I don't know how much of that got out, and he started to punch me with a closed fist.
At one point, the victim, who wants to hide her identity, says she bit the man's hand. Moments later, the passenger of the green car appears to walk over and pull the attacker away.
By the way, hit pause. Back it up 10 seconds. I love what the news says. She claims you can see, because it's from the side of the car, the camera, his arm going boom, 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 boom. I mean, folks, I'm sorry. Somebody comes over, starts punching me in the face. I could get out and kick most people's ass, but I'm telling you right there, they're going to be dealing with the Second Amendment. And then we'll have Jose Garza put me in prison for defending myself. The Soros TA here in Austin. Let's finish the clip. Here it is.
How much of that got out, and he started to punch me with a closed fist.
At one point, the victim, who wants to hide her identity, says she bit the man's hand. Moments later, the passenger of the green car appears to walk over and pull the attacker away. They finally get back in their car and drive off. The incident is among the latest attacks on Arizona Tesla drivers, being targeted because of the car they drive.
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we hired Savannah Hernandez right out of college. And even before we got shut down with all the lawsuits and all the stuff, she left because I was getting her private security when she would go out to these Antifa events, and they were getting beat up. She was getting beat up. And I said, "I'm sorry. I just can't send reporters." And I guess I am a little sexist in a way, that protective of women. I said, I can't send female reporters out to literally get beat over the head with clubs and bloodied. But she went out and for years now and just goes everywhere and keeps doing it. She's got a lot of guts. And so she's amazing. And I just want to point out, look at the difference of populist people that are Christian, common sensors. They could be Hispanic, they could be white,
that
black,
video
old, young, Asian, doesn't matter. They all
is 24 minutes, link in description. And I wanted to take a moment and also remind you to check out Postmodern Politics, Episode 1 with Jacob Engels and Ben Frisbee. And I'll just play the little intro. I like the intro. Shit slaps. Link in description. Trump puts pressure on DOJ to indict ActBlue and discover who was illegally acting as president via autopen during the illegitimate Biden regime. Yes, please. Hopefully ActBlue, the Democrats' illegal scam used to raise money, including from not allowed foreign contributions, is being looked at by authorities. The Dems only now know how to cheat. The Dems only know how to win by cheating, something which they do better than any group or party in history. I mean, how they're so retarded, but they're just relentless. I guess they focus on cheating, and all they do is try to be dishonest, and it just takes up all of their brain power. It's like if you have like a really powerful program running on a computer and it's just eating up all of your resources, just being dishonest. That's why they can only be dishonest. That's all they know how to do. I just solved it. I just figured it out. It makes perfect sense. But yeah, Alex covered that. So you can
of dollars a year, and over 60% of it is from credit cards of foreigners through American citizens' identities that have been grabbed. And I understand in a racketeering investigation, you want to get all the proof, everything to go all the way up the chain. Great.
So yeah, I mean, the investigations have begun. We need arrests, and I've been saying it, but I mean, they're delivering, and of course, it's never going to be as fast as everyone wants, but I'm seeing results. Southern California homeowner finds hidden camera disguised with fake grass in his bushes. I shit you not. Look at this thing.
Shock for one homeowner in West Covina after finding a hidden camera in his bushes, camouflaged in fake grass. Hello and thank you for joining us. You're watching Eyewitness News at 10, live on ABC 7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. I'm Jory Rand.
And I'm Niku Kazori. The homeowner puzzled and worried after finding the device in the bushes.
He thinks he may be the intended target of burglars who are tracking his home. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo has more.
A cleverly concealed camera that from a distance would easily blend into some shrubs. George Nguyen happened to be watering his hedges Friday night and noticed a green light in these bushes.
I didn't realize what it was until I kicked it out, and it felt heavy, so I knew it was some sort of device, I guess.
The odd device facing his home on East Cortez Street was wrapped in some sort of fake grass. Police peeled back the facade and found a camera that was being used to monitor the comings and goings at the Nguyen's home. Once uncovered, word about the hidden camera quickly spread through this typically quiet neighborhood.
It was really unnerving hearing about it. I went outside after the fact and checked my area and making sure it was secure.
West Covina police say this is the second hidden camera found in someone's yard in the last few months, but it's unclear if they're related. Over the last year, across Southern California, these hidden cameras have come in many shapes and disguises. Some dressed up like a flower, like this camera found in Chino Hills. In Alhambra, Santa Barbara, Lost Hills.
They're getting pretty crafty. 60 Minutes, Scott Pelley lashes out at CBS parent company Paramount Trump administration after boss's resignation. Let's see what we got here. What is this?
Week was executive producer of 60 Minutes. He was our boss. Bill was with CBS News.
I don't care. Link in description. President of the United States to sign the executive order ensuring U.S. trucker actually read and speak English. Got it. It's about time. The new Mark Dice video is pretty funny about how... Isn't it funny how no one's above the law?
Remember when for years the Democrats engaged in multifaceted lawfare against President Trump, abusing the legal system to persecute him on trumped-up charges, no pun intended, trying to stop him from winning the 2024 presidential election? And anytime anybody pointed out how absurd the charges were and how this was looking like a communist country, they responded that no one is above the law, not even the former president. Well, now they think that judges are above the law, even when they engage in, obstruction of justice. And so on Friday, the FBI arrested a Milwaukee judge inside the courtroom after she engaged in obstruction of justice, trying to stop ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, from arresting a criminal illegal alien. And the Operation Mockingbird assets and the media got the memo with their new word of the day: escalation.
We begin tonight with the escalation in the president's crackdown on illegal immigration.
Today's dramatic escalation in the Trump administration's conflict with judges.
The Trump administration signaling a major escalation in its deportation efforts.
Today, an escalation in the Trump administration's battle with the judiciary.
Tensions between local and federal authorities over President Trump's immigration crackdown escalated today.
We begin this hour with a major escalation of the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration.
We begin with what appears to be a major escalation in the Trump administration's deportation efforts.
And what is a major escalation in the battle here in D.C. over immigration and deportation.
This feels like an insane and reckless escalation from the Trump administration arresting a judge.
What's insane are people protesting the deportation of criminal illegal aliens.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mark Dice is a national treasure. Link in description. Call to violence. Democrat Illinois Governor Pritzker pushes for mass protest and disruption to oppose Trump. That sounds like treason. Time to arrest Pritzker. You're under arrest. Bend over and cough. Canadian non-binary diaper fetishist wins case to have taxpayer funds experimental surgery that would leave him with a penis and a vagina. Double threat guy. A 34-year-old Canadian man who identifies as non-binary has won his case to have taxpayers fund an experimental surgery that will leave his penis intact while placing a constructed neo-vagina in the space between his penis and his anus. I believe they call it the gooch. The surgery is currently only available in Texas. Really? And would cost Canadian taxpayers upwards of $70,000. You know, that's not a bad deal. To get both of those? 70 grand? I thought it'd be more. They rip you off for all kinds of stuff, but you could go fuck yourself for $70,000. All right. On the taxpayer dollar, you don't have to pay anything. Sounds like a win. External Revenue Service. Trump promises federal taxes may be abolished for earners under $200,000. Yes, please. That's me. In a post on his social media platform, True Social, the president said income from his new reciprocal tariff on foreign nations would be a boon for the ordinary Americans. President Trump made no secret of his ambition to abolish federal income tax. If he does that one thing, I mean, that's it. He's the best president ever. Hands down. I mean, so many things he does on a daily basis. Like, how could he hate this guy? Govern me harder, Daddy. Steal all my money. Please, I want 30% of my income from the sweat of my brow to go to fund dick pussy self-fuckers. That's what they want. New details emerge about female pilot Rebecca Lobach. Shocking negligence before helicopter plane collision near D.C. Reagan Airport. New details about the fatal helicopter plane crash near D.C.'s Reagan Airport reveal that female pilot was repeatedly ignoring warning from her male co-pilot to turn away, but she flew right into the passenger jet. The American Airlines flight carrying approximately 64 souls collided with a Black Hawk helicopter near Washington, D.C. Reagan National Airport in late January. All 64 passengers in the jet were killed. The 3 pilots in the Black Hawk helicopter also died in the explosive crash. A preliminary FAA report indicated that the staffing at the DCA Air Traffic Control Tower was not normal at the time of the helicopter plane collision. According to NBC News, at the time of the collision, one controller was overseeing both helicopter and airplane traffic, which is highly unusual. Got a video. And there she goes. Tragic. Schumer refuses to rule out Trump impeachment if Dems retake the House in midterms. Look at this ghoul. Look at this guy. The Democrats could launch another bid to impeach President Trump if they gain control of the Congress in the midterms. That's why it's important to go out and vote, even on those midterms, not just the presidential election. We need a red wave! Speaking to Dana Bash on State of the Union, Chuck Schumer said that president is violating the rule of law in every way. The Democrats could launch another bid to impeach Trump. House Minority Leader Chuck Schumer refused to rule out possibility. Speaking on Bash, blah, 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 fighting in every way, sounds like treason.
Your colleague from Georgia, Senator John Ossoff, told voters at a town hall that he strongly agrees that President Trump should be impeached. Do you agree with him? Would that be a priority if Democrats were to take back Congress?
Well, look, right now, President Trump is violating rule of law in every way. And we're fighting him every single day in every way. And our goal is to
That's
show
no way
the
to talk to
American
your
people
president.
over and over again, whether it's the economy, whether it's tariffs, whether it's Russia and overseas, and whether it's rule of law, how bad he is. And, you know, it's 2 years is too far
Like
away
saving
to predict.
taxpayer
Our job is day to
trillions
day to
of
day
dollars
to
through
show
Doge.
who Trump is, what he is doing.
Like getting rid of our income tax, wood chipper. Treason! Treason, I tell you. House Oversight Chair James Comer accuses Pam Bondi's DOJ of stonewalling Epstein child trafficking files. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer accused Attorney General Pam Bondi's Department of Justice of stonewalling efforts to obtain critical files related to the notorious accused child trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. The Gateway Pundit reported last week that President Donald Trump was asked point blank about the long-awaited release of the documents tied to the Jeffrey Epstein case during a swearing-in ceremony for Paul Atkins at the new chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. A reporter asked, when can we expect the Epstein documents to be released? President Trump responded calmly by pointing, I don't know. I'll speak to the Attorney General about that. I really don't know. During an interview on Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson, Comer accused Pam Bondi's DOJ of stonewalling the release. Why, you don't have to say it 3 times, bro. I mean, come on, concise. You're padding. Comer on the latest Republican to criticize Bondi's leadership, following Anna Paulina Luna, Rudy Giuliani, General Flynn, and Tom Fenton, and Owen Schroyer every day on the War Room. Yeah, you know, is Pam Bondi a bad character? Let me know in the comments. Exclusive deep state pedophile cult murdered Virginia Giuffre to silence other victims ahead of the release of the newly discovered 14 terabytes of Epstein evidence.
I mean, we've been on air saying we can't believe they haven't killed her yet. Because it's not just about silencing her. She's already spoken. What's it about? Come on, you know what it's about. It is about scaring the thousands of other survivors. It's on record. Epstein bought women at ages 8 and 9 in Eastern Europe, took them back, made them sex slaves, and then years later, when they hit 18, they became managers and stewardesses on his airplanes who would then manage the younger little girls that went down to very low ages. But again, the media has kept this to 14, 15, 16. I thought a lot about it Saturday, and I was just like, well, this is obvious why they just murdered her. She's already told her story. It's been proven. So that's why you tell a story, so you don't get killed. It's the dead man that tells no tale. Why did they kill her now? Well, it's completely obvious, isn't it? As I just said earlier, to send a message to everyone else and all the other victims, and some of them are going public saying, hey, I'm not going to commit suicide either, that you better keep your mouths shut or you're dead too. And this is in direct response, and I'm speculating here, but we know they sent out to all the FBI field offices, so there's got to be some good agents there, you know, that are ready to go. I'm sure they are. And I've actually seen it pop up here in the news there, and I've talked to some folks that say they're out there, they are investigating it. So as soon as those tripwires get hit and people involved start getting visits or calls, then they go, all right, well, who's most prominent exposing this? Who's really pissed the king off? Who's exposed his brother? Yeah, go ahead and whack her. And that's exactly when you would see this happening if there is a real investigation going on. And I don't see how there isn't. You don't send it out to all the FBI offices around the country, from Hawaii to New York, from Florida to Texas, from Utah to Idaho, from Michigan to Kansas, from Rhode Island to Oregon. Bondi said she was doing it. She said they'd already identified a bunch of victims.
She said a lot of things, but, you know, other signs have shown that things are happening. But is Pam Bondi trying to get in the way here. German Army's first transgender lieutenant colonel penalized for bringing forces into disrepute with highly sexualized behavior. I wouldn't have worded it that way. The German Armed Forces' first transgender commander has lost an appeal against a reprimand he received after his highly sexualized public behavior put him in violation of the military's code of conduct. Anastasia Briefing filed a counter-complaint against the reprimands, alleging discrimination on the basis of sexual identity, but has now lost the case. Finally, Germany has done one thing right. Holy shit. Epstein accused of Virginia Giuffre chilling warning resurfaced after reported suicide. GOP lawmakers sound the alarm. The sudden death of Virginia Giuffre, the courageous whistleblower who exposed the depraved world of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking empire, has shocked the world, with prominent GOP lawmakers openly questioning the official narrative of her reported quote-unquote suicide. Gateway Pundit reported on Friday that Giuffre, 41, was found dead at her farm in Western Australia, where she had lived for several years. According to a statement from her family reported by NBC News, Giuffre took her own life after a lifelong battle with trauma of sexual abuse and trafficking. Quote, "It is with utterly broken hearts that we announce that Virginia passed away last night at her farm in Western Australia," unquote, her family said in a statement. Her lost life to suicide after being a lifelong victim of sexual assault and trafficking. Virginia was a fierce warrior in the fight against sexual abuse and sex trafficking. She was the light that lifted so many survivors. In the end, the toll of abuse is so heavy that it became unbearable for Virginia to handle its weight. Like, that's speculation. That's not news reporting. Giuffre's death comes just weeks after a reported car accident on March 24, 2025, which she claimed left her in critical condition. In an Instagram post on April 1st, April Fool's Day, Giuffre described a collision with a school bus. So, yeah, this whole story, I mean, this feels like the DC Madam all over again, if you're not familiar with that case. But you have everyone, pretty much saying Jeffrey Epstein accuser died by saying the truth needs to come out. More people need to be responsible. From Marjorie Taylor Greene. Virginia Roberts Giuffre didn't commit suicide. No chance. From Senator Mike Lee. Virginia Roberts Giuffre didn't commit suicide. No chance. Mike Lee. Former Representative Matt Gaetz. Imagine believing this was an actual suicide. Imagine this was actually a suicide. Matt Gaetz. So, good. I'd like to see some solidarity here. We need to open an investigation. Only 1 in 8 Afghan refugees entering Germany through admission programs were properly screened. Notice how there's no women or children, just a bunch of creepy, rapey looking dudes. Brussels crowns itself anti-fascist city while ignoring Antifa attacks. Brussels has officially declared itself the world's first anti-fascist city, a move critics say is less about opposing extremism and more about excluding mainstream conservative and political life. The decision comes just days after a local Antifa group vandalized major venues that hosted the conservative think tank MCC Brussels, an attack the city council has failed to even acknowledge. Brussels. Should the DOJ prioritize the Epstein investigation over the 350,000 missing kids in captivity? That's the question I'm going to leave you guys with.
We should have a bigger discussion about what is the biggest priority. Like, Okay, 10% of the FBI's energy is on Epstein. 30% on finding the hundreds of thousands of missing kids and sex slavery is confirmed in many cases. 10% on stopping the Pentagon coup against Trump. Because they get rid of him, all this stops. You say, well, that's only like 60% or whatever you just put out. Well, what else is the FBI supposed to do? Go after TDA? Go after MS-13? Go after, I mean, there's only 33,000 people at the FBI.
33.
And most of them are bureaucrats or
link in description.
clerks.
So let me know in the comments, what's more important, the DOJ prioritizing the Epstein investigation or the 350,000 missing kids in captivity? Let me know in the comments. That concludes today's episode. If you like what we do, please cash at me, bro. Send me like $5. Cash.app/DarkDox. You have no idea how that would change my life. If like 30 people did that on Mondays and Wednesdays, I would do so much with that money. I mean, I'd have giveaways. I would make cool merch. I would do all kinds of stuff. So please consider supporting cash.app/DarkDox. Also, thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. And we get 10%. Definitely check them out. Take advantage of that 50% off. And this is the last time, potentially, you can have something that says InfoWars on it because they're coming after them. By Friday of this week, they're supposed to be kicking down their door, and it won't be Sacred Owls this time. It'll be the, remnants of the Democrat Department of Justice. Hopefully Trump can stop this. I don't know, but we'll see. It's exciting, and it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Let's come back down to this lovely little crab nebula out here in outer space. And once more, come back down to SeaWorld here in Orlando, Florida. And remind you all once more to beware. Take care. And I'll see you on Wednesday in 48 hours, 47 hours now, at youtube.com/Sacred Owls. Have a great night, everybody.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian talk.
DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. If you value this program, donate what you can at cash.app/DarkDox. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest.